Alright everyone, Supreme Kami over here, and today we'll be taking a look at my fake Tallgeese F over here. I was only able to pull, you can say, two of the main parts from the set, so I got the EX skill from both of them. So that's actually quite clutch because I wouldn't really need any of the other part. I can just kind of kit bash and it will look literally the same thing as we're looking at so far. I think the main attraction for me personally, I think probably for many of you guys, is probably going to be the backpack. This wing is definitely a lot more better in terms of design, and then in terms of the overall outlook. This is definitely a lot more better, you know, with those this one. What would you even call this symbol over there? If you close the wing, would it resemble like a phoenix? I think it should be, right? So definitely the wing is probably one of the most aesthetic part from the overall sets. And then maybe the head part, obviously I am using the Tallgeese 2 one, which I think is pretty much the same thing, you can say, just that pretty spiked up mohawk looking thing over here. So in terms of what we are going to be trying to do, so in terms of EX skill, we have the Tempest charge up here. So this EX skill is quite interesting. After alteration, you are able to go up to like a SS tier piercing. So what I'm going to be trying out, I'm going to take this on to the Nishi challenge. I'm pretty sure many of you guys have known that the first stage you can't really do normal EX2 damage to it because all you can do is pretty much 1 damage in a way. So what I'm going to be trying to do, I want to see if the SS power or the SS pierce is able to break down the defense. So I will actually be doing 2 comparisons. So one is going to be the alterated version of the Tallgeese F arm, and then I'll use a similar, you know, EX skill, like a melee EX skill. So I will be using this one. I'm gonna be using probably not this one because this one does not grant me any melee attacking. So I'll probably be using a Soul Sam over here. I think the Soul Sam arm is pretty much a standard, you know, a standard package from what you can see from like a, you know, an alterated EX skill. So this one's going to be coming in at D pierce and S minus power. So that is a fairly similar to just any EX skill we can be looking at. So yep. So let me alterate them. So what is it after, like straight up alteration? Like I know that I just go up to like an SS tier afterward. So after alteration, we are looking at what are we looking at? Let me see. So after alteration, we are looking at a flat out S pierce right there, right? So I think it's upon reaching like I think after you get up to EX skill level 9 or 8, then it transforms into the SS minus, which will allow you to break through any defense, I guess, you know. So B plus power obviously not going to be anything too strong, but maybe the piercing may actually do some sort of like a magic right here. I don't know. I'll definitely try that out. So let me alterate him. Bam. It's gonna cost me 5 million right there, and some alteration tools right there. Obviously the L badge is probably one of the most important items right there. So let me put this on a skin, and then let me check what typing we're looking at, so that will allow me to determine what kind of build I need to bring along this time around. So let me see. Alright, so in terms of the Nishi challenge over here, so first stage, oh, it's gonna be like a type neutral. So I will actually bring out my strongest suit right here. So this one, I'm gonna bring this one out. So this one basically has over 100% above EX skill effects. So on top of the piercing value I'm getting. So what I could have done, I could definitely bring in some, you know, piercing boosting, but I just want to see if the S piercing is gonna do any tricks. So that's what we'll be trying out. So let me actually remake the skin. I'm still using the Krill Bleed from yesterday's video. So let me put this on the skin, and then I will be right back and see how it actually goes. So what do I need to do from this build? I need to put it last, and then that should be pretty much it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I get the skin loaded in right here. So we are, in terms of attack power, like from what I did from last time, like a long time ago, obviously going to be a lot more stronger. So I think even without having like an S piercing value, I think I should still be able to break it down, I think. So this one does have some incredibly high defense all around. So let's gonna try this out and see how it goes. Alright, we are here. So I believe there's only one enemy, I believe so. Let's see. So I'm just gonna activate my limit break and then trying to go in, I guess, you know. I'm trying to break that defense wall first. So this unit is already using deeper in the license job right there. So we are actually doing damage. Alright. Nice. Okay. So obviously with the build I have currently, compared to the one that I did like a video back then, obviously is a lot more better. So we were roughly able to do a few good damage there, despite the fact that you know, I have a lot of buff EX skill effects, and then I have a lot of like power boosting, right? So I mean, maybe the S piercing does actually work. So I will actually come back around. I would try out the Soul Slam arm because it does have like S power. So you might think like the S power should be able to break down the defensive wall, but we'll see. So let me do hop back out and then I'll roll in with that skin and see how that goes. Okay, so I have loaded in with the Soul Slam arm right now. Since my enemy does have a defender job lesson, so I gotta be careful in terms of when to activate the EX skill, so I will not get cancelled out. So it's blocked right now, so I don't want to charge in. So maybe right now, since it's actually doing something, so let me see if I can actually do any damage at all. Like, give me like, yeah, give me one, please. So this right here, this proves that when you do have like an S piercing value, you would be able to break down and this, because keep that in mind. In terms of the boss that we're facing, it does have some extremely high defensive capability, so that's why even using like the S power is not gonna do anything, because you really need some piercing value to just kind of break to the defensive line right there. So, but in general, we talking about like general content, I still say that power, like general power boosting, like the S power whatsoever, is gonna be a lot more better. It should be able to do more damage in general, but if you talk about some, you know, specific boss like this one's, you gotta be like careful like what kind of condition they want you using, because in terms of this boss specifically, they want us to use flat out damage power boosting instead of the percentage boosting. So if I were to roll in with like flat number, for example, that would allow me to do more damage. But obviously you can go the other alternative and just gonna use a, you know, piercing boosting, and then you should be able to break through that. So that's why in terms of the S power, the S piercing did allow me to break through the defensive wall right there. So I am gonna actually finish off the video by trying out those two EX skills in like a friend battle. I still want to closely take a look at the round slicer because I was not able to show that off successfully. So let me hop back out here and then we will be right back. Right, so we are here. So I'm just actually going to be playing one of my friend over here. So let me actually activate that and see how it is. So okay. Oh, there you go. So in terms of this EX skill, keep that in mind. You can literally get a setback like that, since there's not going to be any iframes. So you get bound to get knocked out if your enemy does anything like that. So that's not good actually. That's not a good EX skill. Alright, so this time around we are just going to be using the custom EX skill and see what kind of damage we can get. Keep that in mind, this is going to be like a B plus power, but it does have a S piercing, so let's see. What does it actually do? So it looks like it's awakening. Yeah, so this one is going to be a awakenable EX skill, so in terms of chaining that to your other EX skill, it may not be the best. So we were able to do things, was it like a 4 million? We were doing like a 4 million damage? Okay. That's actually pretty good. I'll take that. Alright, so guys, there you have it. So that is going to be the quick showcase of the Tallgeese F EX skill here. So this is going to be purely trying out the S piercing, which works really good. Actually, you know, we talk about any content that you need to break down, you know, a heavily defensive wall. This is definitely going to be EX skill you want to be using. In terms of the back EX skill, I'm not really the big fan of it. The round slicer is not anything too special. It's going to be one of your regular EX skills, so you are definitely going to have a chance of getting knocked out in the middle of your animation, which is not going to be good because like you can literally just get killed right there, so it's obviously not going to be too good. In terms of the army EX skill, it's pretty good. In terms of just doing it, dealing like the regular damage, we were still able to round from like a 4 million with that bottom hit, so that's actually pretty impressive. So this one definitely has its own utility base over here, so this one is definitely going to be good if you're talking about some content that needs some to break down the wall, for example. And then this one already has like a 30% power or melee power boosting, or just a melee attack up to your overall squad, as well as a health recovery, so that's always going to be good. And then keep that in mind, the first time users is going to be a 12 seconds, so that's actually really good as well. So you don't really need that many of the like initial charge boosting per se. So overall, the army skill is definitely a good one to have, for example, but the bag is definitely going to be good for an aesthetically based, but in terms of using it for like the actual EX skill, I'll definitely pass out on that. So that's gonna be pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoy watching this, and then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.